Mother Funny Time with Andy and Angie.
2 cousins, 8 kids, 1 grandkid, 2 states.
And a whole lot of fun. Woo! Welcome back, Mother Funny Tribe. You have both of us. Angie and Andy are back together forever and ever, la la. Anyway.
Together again. We're here.
Together again. That's from the Muppet movie. Anyway, we're here. Maycember had Angie down, but not out. She's back.
Right. Just a lot of scheduling issues. There was a lot of places I had to be. And I was there. I was at all the places I needed to be, except for with you guys.
We take that personally. I can't believe you put your children above us.
I did. I'm sorry, Mother Funny Tribe. I was not with you, but it sounds like Andy and Chris did a phenomenal job. And for anyone watching on YouTube, if you see my shirt, it's, yep, that's right. It has water on it. Right before we recorded, I went to drink water and I laughed. And I could not drink water correctly. So this is going to dry as the podcast goes on and on. But that's mom life. Could I go get another shirt? I could change. No. But that's not being authentic. It's water.
I'll spill it on mine. Oh, it's black.
It's not the same. That's what happens when you're a mom. I mean, it could be, baby spit up, puke. Moms are constantly walking around, who knows what, on their shirts. It happens.
I'm famous for having my clothes on inside out or backwards. Famous. I've done it so many times.
Sometimes that happens. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay.
It's only embarrassing when you're wearing workout pants and the under the lining to the underwear is on the outside. And your tag, you have a little tail tag. But you know what? We all need humbling at some time, We don't want to shine too bright. We can't shine too bright. I need everybody at the gym not to feel super overwhelmed when I walk in I'll never be running 12-minute miles.
Hey, you did a half marathon.
Did we mention? I haven't even mentioned it yet.
Yes,
we're already 2 minutes in.
It was amazing between that and calculus.
I mean, I haven't mentioned it today.
Next level.
I know I've mentioned it.
Oh,
it's all anyone's talking about.
The whole world. Okay, you guys. Today we're talking about middle school and high school slang. But before we do that, did I ever tell you about the gym story I had, which is so funny? I was pregnant with Riley. And all I could do was the elliptical. My doctor was like, you can either walk or do the elliptical. So I was on the elliptical and I'm at the gym. Okay, 24-hour fitness. I'm at the gym. And so it was like the ellipticals were it went like the stair climbers, the ellipticals, and the treadmills. You know how they kind of stack it? And then the TVs right there.
Yes.
Before you could get the internet on your phone, we all had to watch whatever was on TV at the gym. It's just how it was. You could listen to music. So I am on the elliptical and the treadmills are in front of me. And I also had to be careful, which as everyone mom knows, you have to be careful with your heart rate. So it couldn't be too fast, So I kind of had to maintain a specific heart rate. Anyway, so it was kind of like a mild, moderate workout. It was not a hardcore workout because I was pregnant with my first. And this girl in front of me, she's in front of me to the left one, right? So she's not exactly in front of me because the one was on that treadmill. It was to the left, but she was right there to the left of me. And she's doing this amazing workout. She's running, stopping, checking her watch. Running, stopping. I mean, you could tell she was timing and getting him. This chick was fit. This is when we lived in San Diego. This girl was fit. Whatever she was training for was pretty intense. And it was amazing. And I'm trying to watch the TVs, but I'm also looking at her this girl's amazing. Whatever she's doing, it was constantly checking and running and sprinting and checking. It was amazing. And I'm moderately on the treadmill or on the elliptical, not doing much. Yeah, listen to music, whatever, trying to watch whatever is on TV. And all of a sudden, the lady totally starts peeing. Totally pees. She is full on peeing, but she's not getting off the treadmill because she is still running as hard as she can, stopping, checking her watch, running as fast as she can, and the whole thing is covered in pee. And she did not stop her workout to go to the bathroom. She finished her workout, but as I'm like mild to moderately on my like little elliptical, now I'm worried she's gonna slip on all the pee that's on her treadmill. The whole thing,
shock.
like a ton of pee on the treadmill. And she didn't even stop to look around to see like if anyone was embarrassed, like or if she was embarrassed or that anyone cared. That chick had her mindset. She was on a hard workout. And after she was done with her very hard workout, she had a sip of water and she just kind of like wiped off like the handlebars like you do, like, and then she left. Like it was no big deal. Like she did not get the cleaner out and do any like handlebars cleaning.
She's like, well, urine's like, I've heard it's sanitary, so.
It was the craziest thing. It was not the like accidental peeing, like.
She was like, this is where, you know what? I bet you it was for a marathon because that happens. Like people, if they're running and they're trying to PR or they're trying to like get, if they're an elite runner and they have to pee or poop, they do it. But at a gym?
At the gym, at a 24-hour
There's no
fitness.
experience. There's no, not experience. I'm still in shock. Okay, Mother Funny Tribe, I want you to know one, Angie and I try really hard not to get off on tangents before we start. But this is important. And I think every mom knows. All of us, after you have kids, struggle not to pee. But to see an elite runner peeing on purpose should give us all freedom. And I want to say that she is now like she's going to be my new mental image. When I need to be hardcore focused on a goal, I'm going to be like peeing lady on the treadmill focused. Like this pee is not going to deter me from what I have today.
No, because she could have gone to the bathroom and come back and finished her workout. Like there's bathrooms in the gym.
No, that's logical. That is logical.
Could have left and come back. And she was like, no, I'm going to pee on this treadmill and I'm going to finish this workout. And then I'm just going to walk off. And she left.
Wow. That's amazing.
Anyway, that's just when you're talking about running. Like I went to this. I mean, she's very physically fit. She probably is a marathon runner. Like she had the marathon runner. Like
I mean, that's
toned,
what it
skinny,
seemed.
fit.
Or like some kind of
Yeah. No, it was an intense workout. It was not the walking on the treadmill, which I do, which is amazing. Or my very slow elliptical workout. Not that. Like she was elite. So anyway, that is not what we're talking about. We're not talking about peeing during workouts.
But we all do it once we're moms. We all pee during workouts. Two, maybe she didn't want to shine so bright. She was like, everybody's getting intimidated by how amazing I am right now. I just got to pee everywhere and walk away and be like, mic drop. Boom.
That gym was awesome because it was by the beach. It was also by like Camp Pendleton. Like you would see Marines there and they would have like backpacks fully like packed with stuff and they'd be on the stair climber. Yeah, or they'd be running or they'd be on the stair climber or they'd be on like they'd work out with really heavy backpacks on. It was very inspiring. When you're pregnant, not so much because you're like,
you're carrying all that backpack full, but it's in your tummy. I'm going to now call that gym 24-hour pissness. And I can say that on this podcast because Chris's mom never had said a swear word in her life, but she said piss.
Well, if Mommy Claire says it's okay, it's okay.
Then we can call it 24-hour pissness.
You can. Anyway. It was a huge, giant 24 hours, so they would probably be proud of that name. Yeah.
Would they pee proud of that name? Okay.
That girl was.
Well, look,
we could go on and on, so we need to stop.
Today we're gonna talk about slang, and in today's terminology, they would have said she should have gone to the skibbity toilet. Skibbity toilet. But anyway, that's a long introduction into what we're talking about this week. Angie, go ahead.
We are going to talk about the lingo that teenagers are using right now. And for those of you who are like, well, I have only a 2-month-old, But maybe your niece or your nephew are teenagers, or maybe a neighbor is a teenager, or maybe a babysitter is a teenager. Teenagers these days have their own form of communication, and as moms, we're always trying to keep up and kind of see like, oh, what's going on? And there are times when literally I will not know what my teenager is saying because of what is she saying and her sentences. But before we fully get into this, because we're going to be talking about teenagers
more
currently.
Stories. Tell me more.
Let's talk about popular phrases from the 90s.
And
are
80s.
you ready?
Can we start with late 80s too?
We could do 80s in the next episode because I do have 80s, but we have to do 90s.
Okay, I was just thinking because I was younger in the later 80s. Well, I was in the 80s. Anyway, also I have to say that preteens are definitely using these phrases too. Like it starts early. And it's like worldwide. Like it's a phenomenon right now that's like different than anything we've seen before. But let's talk about what we've seen before. What did you guys say when you were young?
What's super interesting about this is a lot of the terminology and the slang and the phrases came from the movie Clueless. That really inspired.
Oh, from the 90s?
From the movie Clueless, yeah. Okay, as if, obviously, that one is from Clueless. Ite. For all right. Yeah, how do you say it? Ite.
Ite. I like how you're like, Ite.
Ite. All that and a bag of chips. Now, Grandma Vance, our grandma, and I'm going to have my moment of Grandma Vance.
Oh, good. This is your time.
Yeah. She would say, oh my gosh, it was something about sliced bread. Do you remember?
Sliced bread. I remember there was the sliced bread one.
Like it was about the next best thing since sliced bread. Yeah.
You know what parents used to say that they don't say anymore? That you never hear, but I heard it all the time growing up is for Pete's sake.
Right.
Do you remember that?
And who is Pete?
Sake.
Who is
And I thought it was a swear word when I was a kid. I was like, I remember being alone once, like no one could hear me, and I was like, for Pete's sake. All like edgy. For Pete's sake.
Let's bring that back.
For Pete's sake, you guys. It's time.
Booyah. Booyah. That was from the 90s. Don't go there. Fly. You know, like the song. Fly for a white guy.
Yeah.
FYI. That's from the 90s. It's hard to think of a time when they weren't saying FYI because now everybody says FYI. But that was really from the 90s is when that started. Let's bounce. My bad. My bad.
My bad.
People still say that. That one has like stayed true. Not. Remember as a kid? Not.
Oh, yeah.
Not.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, snap. If you were in the homeschool world, we weren't allowed to say the word crap. So we could say snap.
Oh,
you know,
snap. For Pete's sake.
Snap.
Okay.
You know, because, oh, crap, that was a bad word. Homeschool high schoolers, like, you could not say. Like, if you said that, it was like, oh.
It was like saying piss, huh?
I mean, if you said freaking, it was like, do some Hail Marys. That was not good.
Freaking?
No.
Oh.
Ticked off. We used to say ticked off.
Yes, ticked off. I'm so ticked off.
I don't know if that was 90s, but that was, again, homeschoolers being edgy.
I'm just ticked off. I'm teed off.
Yes. Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Take a chill pill.
Take
a chill pill. Right?
Yes.
Talk to the hand.
Yes. Some of these I feel are like early 2000s.
Could be.
But maybe they're 90s.
What's the 411?
Yeah.
And whatever.
Whatever. And then you do the whatever, sorry, loser, where you do like the whatever, sorry, loser.
Oh, well,
see, that wasn't in the homeschool world, I'm sure.
That's public school versus homeschool. We only did whatever.
I was a young adult when we. You know what's a funny one?
Oh, that's the S.
Yeah. Sorry,
whatever,
loser.
Sorry, loser.
Or people would just put an L on their head and say loser.
Well,
that was a big one.
I remember that. You guys have to watch us on YouTube because we're actually
doing everything.
The hand gestures.
Okay, so here's one that's controversial, and it's going to be from the 80s, but I feel like I need to say it because it's just keeps rolling around in there. It's one that I was taught It's a boomer word. The boomers came up with this word.
Okay.
Right? And we used it. It felt edgy, kind of like your oh snap, but it was not a swear word. It was not a swear word. It was in like my 5th grade yearbooks. Everybody wrote it. It was the big word. This generation, when I've said it randomly, like to be funny or whatever, they think I'm swearing. And I'm like, and I cannot convince my children that it's not a swear word. And it's the word bitchin'.
As in cool.
Yeah. Like that's bitchin'.
Like the Surfer Boys.
Yes.
Right. Well,
yeah.
Because you're not, if you were to say like, if you were bitching about someone.
Yes. Different.
That is a bad word. But if that's bitchin' because
like
it's cool.
Cruder. Yeah. Like there's this sauce, like I don't know if you've seen it. There's that bitchin' sauce that they sell, and it's like an almond-based tangy sauce. It's from Carlsbad, but they sell it at Costco. It's delicious. And I'm like, oh, you guys, I got this sauce, and it means cool. And my kids are like, Mom. And I'm like, I'm not swearing. I'm like, look at my 5th grade yearbook. Everybody said have a bitchin' summer.
In 5th grade?
Yeah. It was like, see.
Us homeschoolers.
You would have never.
No, we couldn't write it. We couldn't say it. Probably couldn't even look at it.
So was it a bad word for you guys?
Well, I mean, the homeschoolers. Like, we couldn't say crap.
Homeschoolers.
We couldn't even say stupid. You couldn't say shut up. Like, so of course, bitches, like, off track.
Everybody. I feel like I'm coming off very edgy.
Yes.
I do not swear. I do enjoy a fake swear, but I do not swear.
We couldn't say, oh my gosh. We had to say, oh my word. Oh my word.
Could you say, oh my goodness?
Yes. And I actually never said, oh my good. I never said, oh my word, because that just seemed weird. But I would say, oh my goodness. And to this day, I still say, oh my goodness.
Me too.
That's bitchin'.
That's bitchin'. Feel free, say it.
I never said that. They say the term or the slang word hella came out in the 90s. But if you live in California, only people in the north, only Northern Californians said hella.
Yeah.
It was like a Southern California, Northern California, like you knew.
Yeah.
If people said hella, you're like, you're from Northern California. Not that it's bad. It's just you knew where they lived.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I don't know if that was throughout the country people said hella. I just know specifically in California, there's only certain regions of the state
that would say that. We would say gnarly. That's gnarly. We'd said rad.
Radical.
Awesome. Rad.
Totally. Yeah, see? All these. Oh, she's just going to keep saying it.
I'm going to keep saying it because it keeps going in my head because it was totally clean for us in my community. Here's the difference. I think there were regional slang words. So things would change region to region. I think the difference is now it's worldwide. Like everybody in every state, in every country, like other countries even instantly are saying some similar things. And it's wild to me. Because like we used to say, okay, I know this is 80s again, but in the 80s when you'd like really get someone, like you owned them, I guess they would have said pwned back in like maybe millennials would have said pwned.
Pwned? I've never heard of
Aren't you a millennial?
Yes, I am. Proud of it. Right there.
Like
I am like the start of millennials.
You're like, yeah. Like
Year one.
I'm closer to the end of Gen X. I'm like 3 years anyway. Yes, you're a cusp person. Anyway, all that to say, pwned, it means like owned, like if you beat somebody well, like I owned you in that game kind of thing. But they'd say pwned, I pwned you. Anyway, but what we would say when I was a kid was facial scrub. We'd be like facial scrub, and we do this whole scrubbing thing.
What?
I know. It was huge in my region. Like we all did it. Facial scrub. Like if you did, it's hard because you were homeschooled at that point. So I don't know what is regional and what is public versus homeschool.
It kind of has come full circle though, because now preteens and teens are so into like skincare. They're like, can I have that facial scrub? Is this a good one?
Facial scrub. Oh,
it's
like
apricot.
dry?
Is that vanilla? What? So it's kind of like whole new meaning now, all these years later.
Face mask. That was another one. And again, you go face mask. I know. I don't. That was before the peel and stick. Face masks. We just said face mask. I need to talk to somebody private school in another region.
I remember like in your face.
That's where facial scrub came. It was like in your face and then facial scrub or face mask. Remember talk to the hand? That was a big one. Or do you remember cancel my subscriptions because I'm over your issues?
No. Because I only read Brio, which was a Christian teenage magazine.
So you wouldn't have known any of them that were like kind of ruder to somebody else or like braggy.
It wasn't until like college that I was like, I'm going to read a Teen Vogue. Preteen magazine.
And I said, oh my gosh. Look at this Teen Vogue. Shut up, stupid. Just kidding. Sorry if you have kids listening.
Oh my gosh. See, oh my gosh. I'm cussing in the homeschool world. It's a different time. It's such a different time. So, yes, you guys, we all had so many different sayings, whether you were in public school or homeschooled, or whether you're 80s or 90s or 2000s. And like I think Andy's talking about is like how right now it is universal and these kids are using actually many of the same words. Part of it could be like due to texting culture, emojis, TikTok, social media. Like there's so many different reasons as to why they're taking words and then making them so much smaller. Or they'll even just use like a letter. So I also want to kind of talk about some of the acronyms. That probably will be in the next podcast because there's so many of those. But you're mentioning like Gen X and millennials, and that is something that they're saying these days is kids will be like, okay, boomer. It's like a dig. It's a total dig. Now, my kids don't call me a boomer, but they'll always say, well, you're from the 1900s. Like if I say something or if I'm not understanding it, they'll be like, well, that's because you're from the 1900s. And I'm like, it's not that long ago. But it is. I mean, it's funny that that's where these kids are going, whether you're a boomer, Gen X, or millennial. They're now using it to put you down. And I'm just going to say I'm wearing that proudly. I kind of want to get a shirt made. Like, I'm from the 1900s.
I'm from.
Take that.
Take that. Better than sliced bread. Here's the thing. A lot of like the things that it's now Gen Alpha. So we had Gen Z, which is like my youngest, and now we have Gen Alpha. And Gen Alpha
which is my girls.
Which is your girls. And they're coming up with all the new slang. And a lot of the slang they're getting is from TikTok and from YouTube. Like I'll only go into skibbity toilet because I feel like skibbity toilet needs its own moment because that's the one I understand least. And I actually like in trying to figure out what it was. I say it all the time now. So I'm going to make it uncool because that's just the way it works. As soon as a mom uses it, it's uncool. So I looked it up and it is a crazy video, like series of videos, and they're creepy. And it's these, have you seen it?
No.
It's like all these toilets. It looks like a nightmare scene. And there's all these toilets and all these like men's heads are sticking out of the toilets and they say skibbity toilet. And then there's men and there's different episodes and they're short and I don't understand it. And I've never felt so old, but that's where skibbity toilet comes from around the world. And it makes no sense to me.
And that's it. Podcast is done. We don't know where to go from there.
Skibbity toilet. But now I'm always like, you got to go to the skibbity toilet, skibbity toilet, skibbity toilet. So that one's going to go.
It's like have a skippity doo dah day.
I don't think that's what it means.
No, it does not. It does not. No.
I am excited to talk about slang with homeschool Angie. It's going to be so fun.
It's funny because sometimes my girls will say things and I'm like, I don't understand it. Or other times I can kind of figure it out. or they say things and I'm like, are you talking in code? Like, does that actually mean something, or are you just trying to like fake me out? You know, like, where's the line of like, you guys remember like double talk as a kid?
Yes,
or Pig Latin?
I forgot about that.
I'm like, is this double talk? Is this Pig Latin? Is this the new version of it, like the updated version, or it actually means something? But that's what they're saying is like, no, these words and these phrases actually have meaning. Like skibbity toilet guy, like it has meaning. I guess, you know, it's the videos or whatever. Like there's a reason to it. These kids aren't just like making this stuff up and there's no reason why. It actually means something. Go
Can
ahead.
you talk and double talk? I totally forgot about that.
How the gal, are the gar, you the goo, at the gan, do the
Yes! It's the get spent again, so the go, long the gog. I forgot about it.
Ride the guide.
What? That was a hot minute.
Once you have it, man, you can't lose it. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so next episode, we're going to dive deep in because we're already done for today. The P story was worth it. It was worth the interruption. But next
I mean,
episode,
I'm still processing
and it goes
through
with
that.
skibbity toilet. Like, she should have gone to the skibbity toilet.
Yeah, the guess, she the gee, should the good.
She the should have skibbity. Yeah, that's right. It sounds like double talk. Is that double talk?
Kind of. Well,
Skibbity.
okay. Besties, not bros.
Bruh. Everything's
Bruh.
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 Bruh. I don't have kids saying these things, but I have friends whose kids say these things. And when I'm in public, I hear it. Oh, I have more to say. I'm going to wait till next time because I just heard a whole conversation of young women behind me. I think they were teenagers or later teens, so they were still confused, but they were like, yeah, he called me a Sigma. Or she called me a Sigma. And the girl's like, oh, okay, well, that's good. You know, she's like, that's not bad. It's like an alpha. Like they know, like there's a Sigma. I was like listening to them and they were trying to figure out these new slang terms and if they were called Sigma, if that was good or bad.
Do you remember pagers? And like we had pager code, but also you could write full sentences in pager code. Do you remember that with all the numbers and like the numbers had different letters and stuff?
I only knew a
Was
few.
this after your time? So
No,
part
I
of it
had
is
pagers,
you would get with your friends and you're like, what does this mean? Because someone would write a whole like sentence or like 3 sentences that you're trying to figure out. Like I think that's kind of even what it is. Like remember there you could have full on conversations with pager code and trying to figure that out.
We only had 143 or what was the one that was like, or 911, like call me back now, or 143 I love you, and that was like it. Otherwise you just called the number.
Yeah, so this is a little bit later. Or maybe the older group ish by 5 years used it how it's supposed to.
Just found our payphones.
Yeah, your payphones. Us in
switched to
high
payphone.
school, we had full on conversations through pagers.
Oh,
So it kind of reminds me of that. But yes, you guys, we have a whole bunch of words to discuss, and it is going to be hilarious.
We're gonna help illuminate everything from Giat to Riz to, which that's an easier one. We're gonna try to pull some out of there, like mewing, or is it musing? What is it, mewing?
I don't know, but it won't be cringy.
Cringe. Mid. It won't be mid. No cap. It won't be mid.
No cap. No cap.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Us, share us. Tell a friend who wants to talk about 80s, 90s, 2024 lingo. Because we know it all now. And sliced bread.
Now. What'd you say?
And sliced bread. The sliced bread.
I heard ants like bread or something, and I'm all, is that new lingo? All right.
No.
Till next time. All right. That's all we have time for today. We got to wrap it up, unfortunately. But just remember, you might think you're doing just okay, but we think you're doing really great.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. We hope you have a great Mother Funny day. Please like and share our podcast.
But please don't tell our moms.